Hello and welcome back to Deep Sport Insights, your new home for MMA breakdowns and fight picks. In today's episode, we're breaking down the 10 fighters and the 5 fights on the Dana White Contender Series Week 6 fight card. With that, let's get into it. First up, let's recap how we've been doing so far on the channel. So right here are the 7 videos that we've put out, full-length videos and full-length breakdowns that we've put out. In the last UFC Noche, we put out 5 picks, if you saw the post. Unfortunately, one was a push because Cedric Dumas took a shot to the nuts from Zachary Reese, and that was a push. And that was my lock of that whole card. Said that fight was going to end in the first round or first 2 rounds. Zachary Reese was going to get that finish. So bummed out, but I don't think anyone's more bummed out than Zachary Reese. So that's a void, that's a push, so we're not counting that. That's why if you're wondering why there's a 3 out of 4 there with a little asterisk, that's what that means. Other than that, we went 3 out of 4. The only loss coming to the Luis Garul pick against Jesus Aguilar. Just have to give it up to Jesus Aguilar. Man, I thought he was just going to keep jumping submissions, and we're going to see a lot more of what we saw of him. But he's actually shown improvements because the Luis Garul that I broke down is the Luis Garul that I got inside that octagon that day. But I was observing a better version of Jesus Aguilar. So I'll tip my hat where it's due. Jesus Aguilar was the better fighter. I don't say the breakdown was incorrect. It's just he stepped up, and I'm going to keep that in mind next time we see a Jesus Aguilar fight. And with that, let's get into the first fight for the Dana White Contender Series. I know the drill. I'm going to drop myself down into a corner here. Oh, that's not right. There we go. Sorry, guys. I really suck at doing that live. I got to figure that out. Anyways, okay. So the first fight, we have Raphael Uchegbu versus Cody Chovanchek. Chovancak? Well, he represents Canada. He does fight out of Niagara Top Team, so pretty close to where I'm located. Both fighters are undefeated and have experience going 5 rounds. That's key here. So cardio is not going to be a factor. Both these guys are fit enough to go at a high pace for those 3 rounds. I think this is going to be an exciting fight. Probably one of the better fights on this card today. Raphael is slightly taller, more experienced. He has striking background, and he's better when initiating the wrestling. He has an armbar finish in round 5 in one of his 5-round fights, so it shows that he still looks for the finish late, and he has that intensity to actually get that finish. He does break down his opponents. Cody, on the other side, we have the Canadian prospect from Niagara Top Team, as mentioned. He's dangerous everywhere, but not clear if his wrestling is strong enough to exploit Raphael's weakness in his takedown defense. Raphael is the type of fighter that will work you, break you down slowly, and I think he has the skill set he needs here to outwork Cody Chovanchek in the Dana White Contender Series. Raphael's a little bit more experienced. He's a little bit bigger in terms of frame here, slightly older, and he's really well versed on the ground. He is a little bit better of a hammer than he is a nail, but I don't think Cody is going to put him in the positions where he has to spend most of that time being the nail in this fight. Therefore, give me Raphael Uchegbu to win more of those minutes. I don't know if he gets the finish here because Cody is actually really good. So this is not me just saying, oh yeah, Cody sucks, he doesn't belong here, Raphael's going to win and steamroll him. Absolutely not. Both these guys are good. Both these guys could be in the UFC. Not saying they're top 15, but they can go there and put on competitive fights. I would actually watch these guys. Unfortunately, I do think Raphael's a little bit better baked than Cody is at this point in his career. Give me Raphael Uchegbu as the lean, as the side. I can't really pick a way how to get this one done. Moving on to the next fight. Where do we have this? Next up, we have the fight between In Soo Hwang and Paddy McCorry. Okay, both these guys are not good. So this is the opposite statement that I just said for the previous fight. I don't think either of these guys belong in the UFC. If they get there, they're going to accumulate nothing but losses, and they're going to have to be relegated back to the regional scene. The reason they're here is I think Paddy McCorry's agent is well connected, so he's able to get him this fight. And this is a pretty good fight because In Soo Hwang is not an athlete by any means. Yeah, he knows how to fight. He's not in great physical shape. He's a lot smaller than Paddy, and he wants to fight the exact same type of fight that Paddy wants to fight, which is standing and striking. So you're giving you're giving Paddy essentially a matchup where a smaller, shorter guy with less power who doesn't move his head and fights aggressively is going to be walking you down, trying to knock you out or trying to get his contract, and you're going to have all day in there to piece him up, beat him up. In Soo Hwang does not move his head. He's extremely hittable. That hasn't hurt him on kind of the Asian scene because they don't pack a whole lot of power, but it could cook him here in Dana White Contender Series or at least in the UFC. He should not go in there for his own health and safety. Paddy McCorry, on the other hand, it looks like his agent set him pretty well here to get this win. I don't know if he still gets the contract. Like, he has to have a devastating finish over In Soo Hwang because he's going to be very hittable. If he's not able to hit this guy and put him out of there, does he even belong in the UFC? That's the argument that needs to be made. If Paddy wins this and gets given a contract, it's probably the worst thing that could happen to his career because I think he's going to take some brain damage in the UFC. He's going to get relegated down to the regional scene. Then he'll be looking at maybe about 30 years old to try and come back to the UFC later in his career. So it worked for some. I just don't know if it'll work for him here. He's a pretty big middleweight. Should be an easy fight for Paddy McCorry here. For this fight, it's very easily one-sided. Paddy McCorry, not great fighters though. On to the next one. This is my favorite fight of the night. Thomas Gantt is my favorite fighter on the card. I think he wins. This fight originally was a pick'em, and now it's a -50 for Tommy Gantt. I've already seen the weigh-ins, so I'm recording this after the weigh-ins already happened. I know how these guys measure up. I saw how they looked, stared each other down. I know who's lanky. Adam Livingston really tried to, mean mug Tommy Gantt, and Tommy wasn't having it. He just walked right into his face, eyed him down, pulled back, did his thing, and Adam was there still trying to give us, hype up the crowd afterwards or trying to psych himself up. I don't think it's a good look. Tommy Gantt, it has ruthless pressure. He just drowns his opponents. He has cardio for days, and he just knows what to do in his transitions. The problem is he hasn't fought as high as levels of competition as Adam Livingston has. Now, Livingston hasn't looked as dominant as Tommy has in his fights, but that's because he's fought in the PFL, the LFA. So some experience at a decent level. I just think Tommy Gantt is a true prospect. And heading to the UFC, I know he's 32 years old, but he's well cooked. He has a lot of amateur fights, and he's 10-0 undefeated, and that's a legitimate 10-0. Adam Livingston with a 6-0, he's dangerous, but he's not as well-rounded. He doesn't have the full package like Tommy. Tommy, 32 years old, a little late in the career, but he is ready. He is legit. I love Tommy Gantt to absolutely drown Adam Livingston. He might get a finish late, so if you want to look for some additional money angles once props actually come out, props are still not out in a lot of books, so hence you'll see how we wrap up the video today. I'm going to make some changes moving forward because I want to make sure you guys get those picks in these videos. A lot of you guys watch the videos and you're like, where's those picks? And I'm trying to put them in there, but those lines aren't out. So I'm not just trying to give you some picks and then just to try and force it, and then you end up losing, right? So it's going to be a bit of a give and take, so I'm just going to list what my picks are. The odds aren't going to be listed. So that's going to be how we're going to be moving through these Dana White Contender Series videos moving forward because those lines don't come out till less than 24 hours before the fights themselves. But in this one, I like Tommy Gantt a lot. If you can get him today or as soon as you see this video, go for it because I think he'll be -200 by the time the fight actually starts. He is really good. Ooh, this is going to be another great fight on this card. Mahamed Aly, I know it's Mahamed Aly, the grappler who can't really box, but he's 6'3". He has a 77-inch reach at light heavyweight. He has decent striking too, and this picture doesn't do him justice. He's in much better shape than he looks in that, than it shows in that photo. The guy is shredded, jacked, and he just towers over Iwo Baraniewski because I took a look at the weigh-ins. And dude, Iwo was looking up at him. This guy's a whole head taller than him. And it's not like Muhammad's giving up a lot of physique or size and he's lanky. Not at all, man. This guy's built like Alex Pereira. I have to say, he looks a lot like Alex Pereira in physique. If anything, he looks like a more jacked version of Pereira. So that's pretty dangerous. And on top of that, he's a pure grappler. Iwo is really well established he has his own grappling credentials himself. He's a 3-time Polish judo champion. He's an ADCC champion. And he's over 20 amateur fights. And he has a solid grappling base, as we understand, and he has heavy hands. Striking's not really technical, but it's powerful. Mahamed Aly, like I said, huge for the division at 6'3", Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and already has a win over former UFC fighter Jared Gooden. Strong top game with nasty submissions, though surprisingly no official submission finishes yet. His striking is slow but powerful. He's been knocking out kind of bums on the regional scene, but don't take away from the fact that his grappling is what's really good. So nobody wants to go to the ground with him. The problem I see in this fight for Iwo is that even though he's a 3-time judo champion, with this individual in front of him being so much taller, a lot of that judo might be neutralized just with the balance and ability to stay grounded. And again, Mahamed Aly is a solid grappler, so he'll probably see a lot of those opportunities and openings. And I don't know if Iwo will be able to take down a very tall fighter that is Mahamed Aly. On the other side, though, if, let's say, he is successful and takes Mahamed Aly down, well, we know he has really good jiu-jitsu. My question becomes, can Iwo control him on the ground? This is a good opportunity to take the dog in Iwo Baraniewski if you wanted a dog today, because he is legitimate. 3-time Polish judo champion, 80cc champion, 20-plus amateur fights. He took his losses young. He's built on that. Even though he's only 5-0 here as a professional, he has a lot of experience. He has arguably more experience than Mahamed Aly. Mahamed Aly is a guy who comes from a jiu-jitsu background and is making that transition to mixed martial arts. So, minus 245, I don't know if I feel confident on Mahamed Aly. I'll probably take it just because I looked at I'll be honest, guys. There's the fighting side to it, which it's hard to pick, but when you look at those weigh-ins, Mahamed Aly belongs in a whole different weight class. Like, it's not even fair. I don't know what he's going to blow up to for tomorrow, because he made weight. They both made weight today, and he was just way bigger than him. And I think that has to be a factor, because you're also fighting in the Apex arena. Problem is, what if Iwo is able to clinch up, get him against the cage, hold him, wear him down, and then Mahamed Aly, knowing that he has solid jiu-jitsu, but he prefers to win in the striking, if his striking opens up for the takedowns for Iwo, he might find himself in his back and getting controlled. And with a smaller fighter, he might be able to keep those frames in and actually stay in the dominant position for the majority of the fight. So that becomes my concern. I will probably lean Mahamed Aly here because I think the UFC wants him. I think he's a freak of nature. And I know he's not bad at all. It's just Iwo has substantial upside here, especially as an underdog, is what I would need to say. So the least confident pick of the card, Mahamed Aly, minus 245. I'm more confident about the McCorry fight because I know McCorry's agent kind of set him up for it's a good matchup for him. This is a tough matchup for Mahamed Aly, but he should get the win is what I'm saying. And finally, we have Mackson Lee versus Hector Sosa. I have a very quick write-up for this. Hector Sosa is legit, man. Like, I don't know. Like, when I first did my research, I thought he was going to be a minus 350 favorite. So I was like, okay, well, I'll give him away as like probably a finish or something. Dude, this guy's the underdog to Mackson Lee. I don't see, because Mackson Lee's tall. So if you looked at the weigh-ins, yeah, he's nice and tall, but he's not strong. He's not very big, and this is the Apex arena. So if Mackson Lee thinks that he can keep Hector Sosa on the end of his punches, keep him and kind of keep moving around the octagon, he's gonna have a hard time because it's the Apex arena, and Hector Sosa puts a hard pressure. He has solid boxing. He has great jiu-jitsu, great grappling. But I think he's going to get in Mackson Lee's face. And Mackson Lee doesn't seem to have that knockout power. He does get you when you're trying to come in. But Hector Sosa should be able to get inside and stay pressuring on Mackson Lee. I don't think Mackson Lee will be able to keep moving on the outside long enough to keep Hector Sosa away. Hector Sosa is legit. Like, really legit. And I think it would just help the UFC to build up its Spanish roster, especially with a champion right now coming from Spain. It just seems like the right move for the UFC to get this guy the win and to advance. I think these odds are simply the way they are because of the size difference. But Hector Sosa is legit. I am going to be taking the dog Hector Sosa in this fight. All right, and with that, this is what we're going to be doing to kind of fix this whole parlay issue we've been having, or trying to get the picks out for you guys in time. I'm just going to list what I think are the best picks right now, and you've kind of heard the video and our breakdown. So if you need to see what you want to look at or what it was, these are the leans that we have, and this is the way that I'm going to be going. If you parlay every single one of these picks together, it's plus 1,200. If I could give any recommendation, if you guys aren't that greedy, remove number 4, remove Mahamed Aly. I'm really confident about Raphael Uchegbu, Paddy McCorry, Thomas Gantt. I love absolutely those first 3 there. To me, those are locks. Those first 3 are absolutely going to win their fights. Hector Sosa as an underdog, I think, is the only reason that I'm a little bit hesitant. Like, is there something that I'm not seeing about Mackson Lee? But to me, Hector Sosa is legit. Like, he's UFC cooked, ready to go. Put him against anyone, maybe even someone who's ranked at number 15, and you will see a banger fight. So I'm all in on the Hector Sosa corner. That's the way I'm leaning here. I will be playing this parlay. I will be throwing Mahamed Aly on it. Whatever. I'll go for it. Let me know if you're joining me. Let me know what you're dropping. Let me know if I have the wrong favorites here. It is a big favorite pick card for me today. Mahamed Aly versus Iwo was another opportunity to lean dog, but I went with the favorite. I just hate that it's one of the biggest favorites on the card. But I am going to be the only dog of the day I'm going with is Hector Sosa. So yeah, you guys know what it is. Help me out. Like the video. Leave a comment down. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought of our breakdown from our previous video. Let me know if there's anything we can do to help improve the quality of these videos. Is there something that we're doing wrong? I know I do kind of go on to tangents and I ramble, but I'm just trying to wing these. I'm trying to get these out for you guys. You know, I'm doing my best to try and get all this together, get the research, get the PowerPoint, get the graphics assembled, get it recorded, get it uploaded, make sure there's some good search engine optimized key tags so you get this, gets it to your feed. And then I still have everything else that I do in my own life. So hope you guys appreciate it. If you do, leave a comment, give me a like, turn on the notification bell, share with your friends, and see you next time. Cheers.